Sorry for the inconvenience. We had some traffic and certain things to take care of in the trade show. But now we're here to speak a little about Costa Rica, this wonderful destination. Okay, so I don't know how many of you have been to Costa Rica or, okay, we have two, three, okay, that's great. Okay, Costa Rica is a tiny country in the middle of the Americas. Our population is of 4.5 million inhabitants. We speak our main language is Spanish, but our official language is Spanish. But a lot of people do speak English. We are a whole year destination. Costa Rica has a lot of microclimates, so getting sun the whole year is pretty easy if you move around within the country. And we're one of the most of the safest countries of Latin America. Also, as we're so small, it's very easy to move around within Costa Rica. So you could fly and rent a car very easily. And also, we have a lot of national domestic flights that are very easy. Our longest domestic flight is 40 minutes, so it's quite easy to move around. Okay, so one of the reasons to go, and the most obvious reason to go to Costa Rica is because we're the paradise of biodiversity. If you've heard of Costa Rica, maybe you think of nature and monkeys, animals, sloths, right? So here you have a little information of our destination regarding biodiversity. We have around 5% of the world's biodiversity, and we have 26% of our national territory is protected by national parks, and around roughly 6% is protected by private reserves. We have a lot of species of flowers, birds, frogs. You could see the numbers there, right? It's pretty impressive, everything that we have. And actually, we have this little territory that is called the Osa Peninsula. It's a tiny piece of land in the South Pacific of Costa Rica, and they account 2.5% of the world's biodiversity in this little piece of land, why we think that it's one of the most bio-intense places on Earth. Sustainable tourism, and we are a very responsible destination. Sustainability is very important, and it's something that we really appreciate and we really take in consideration, not only in tourism. For example, we've been certifying sustainable tourism since 1996. Some people are thinking right now, okay, it's important to be sustainable, it's a trend, it's something that could get more tourists to your destination, but actually we've been certifying these 20 years ago. So we've been pioneering also in everything that is ecotourism, and we continue working that way. Actually, right now, we're re-engineering the CST. We're doing a CST 2.0 to adjust it to everything that is happening, everything that has changed in these years. It's not that we haven't changed or modified the CST in the 20 years, but we think that it needs like a major facelift, and that's something that we're doing right now. And also something important for us in sustainability is that it's not just a tool that we use for marketing or something that it's trendy right now. It's something that it's on our DNA and that business people really believe in. If you go to the ITB trade show on Saturday or Sunday, and you ask to one of our businesses that are there, the Costa Rican companies, you ask them, what are you doing towards sustainability? Do you have something to say about that? I'm pretty sure that all of them are going to tell you at least five great things that they're doing, and 5 reasons of why sustainability is so important for us and for them. Also, as I told you, it's not only in tourism that we're sustainable, it's something that we have as a whole, as a country. For example, this is more than 90% of our energy comes from renewable sources. Actually, we run a lot of days without using fossil fuels in Costa Rica. That's something that is just part of what we do. Also, we want to become carbon neutral by 2021. So for us, it's very easy. We've been certifying like carbon bonds since 1996 also. We have this institution called FONAFIFO, which is Fondo Nacional de Financiamiento Forestal. So just say FONAFIFO. since 1996, we have these carbon bonds that you could trade. So for us, it's very easy. If you say, yeah, I want to offset my flights. Actually, I'm a carbon neutral traveler. I offset my flights. I have an inventory of my flights, and I know what's my carbon footprint yearly. So I also offset my car. So I could say that I'm a carbon neutral traveler, which is quite cool. And I just go to Fonafifo and tell them, okay, Fonafifo, I traveled X. Could you please make my calculations? They do them, and now I'm carbon neutral. So that's very very easy for us and very natural for us. Okay, we're a pretty unique destination, not only because of sustainability, it's also we're pretty diverse in a lot of ways. For example, in Costa Rica, you could visit mountains, rainforest, dry forest, cloud forest, all sorts of forests, lakes, caves. You could surf. You could do all sorts of different activities. I like to say that we have everything but snow. So we have a very interesting destination. Also, we have around 12 microclimates, so things change a lot within Costa Rica. I challenge you to go to Costa Rica, drive for 2 hours, and have the vegetation stay the same, the climate stay the same. That's quite difficult in Costa Rica because everything changes and we have all sorts of destinations. Also, food is very, very important for us. We're foodies, we love food. And the farm to table movement that right now is also very trendy is something that we've been doing forever. There's a lot of destinations that are really like isolated or in the middle of the rainforest or something like that. So these communities have been doing farm to table food for survival since years ago, and now they continue doing it because it's also a more sustainable way. Actually, a hotelier once told me, is that we recycle your salad. Maybe you're eating the salad of someone else, the leftovers, because they do compost, and it's not very tentative, but it's very sustainable. So they do compost in these places, and they have they grow their own greens and everything that they can, and they can source locally as much as they can also. Okay, also we have a World Heritage Sites in Costa Rica. So we have these pre-Columbian chiefdom settlements where you have these amazing stone spheres that actually there's a lot of theories of how they were made, but we don't have an exact answer to that. But they're like huge spheres that are in the middle of the rainforest, some of them, and they're just amazing, and you could go and see them. The site is called Finca 6, and it's in Southern Pacific. Then we also have the natural World Heritage Sites as the Guanacaste Conservation Area. Actually, this is a very interesting place since they have one of the biggest dry forests of the region. People don't think or talk a lot about dry forests, right? If you want to go to the forest, you're gonna think of something green, rainforest, and stuff like that. But dry forest is a very interesting ecosystem where you can find also a lot of animals and great trees. And if you go to in the specific time of the year, you could see all these amazing trees blossom. So you could see a yellow tree, there's one that it has like this pink but very dense color, so it's very very nice. So we have the Guanacaste Conservation Area, and also they have a lot of jaguars in that conservation area. We have the Coco Island National Park, which is one of the top diving sites for scuba diving in the world. You could see amazing schools of hammerhead sharks. Actually, I haven't been there, unluckily, but I do dive, and some of my friends that have been there say that all of a sudden you just see that it becomes like a little dark, and you see, and it's all these sharks swimming above you. So they say that it's an amazing experience. You could see all sorts of sea life in this Coco Island. Another interesting fact of Coco Island is that it's closer to the Galapagos Island than to Costa Rica. So it's an amazing place. And we have the Talamanca Range, which is also a World Heritage Site. And this is one of the most dense rainforests that we have. Actually, it's a very big national park, and it's someone we and you could also find a lot of jaguars and all sorts of species related to the rainforest. Okay, we are a friendly and healthy country. I don't know if you've heard about the Happy Planet Index. Uh, we've been ranked very well in that index. We've been number one for several years already. Um, and also, Forbes also defined us as the happiest country of the world. Additionally, we have a lot of interesting facts that makes us also be happy and be pura vida, as we say in Costa Rica. Um, which is our life expectancy is pretty high. Actually, we have a higher life expectancy than a lot of developed nations. We have all sorts of natural resources. Having 26% of protected area and 6% of privately protected area is a great blessing for us, and that's why we could have a lot of water, breathe fresh air, and that's very good for us also. Our economy is doing well. We have a lot of job opportunities, and the people are, I don't like to say that like Costa Ricans are kind or whatever, it's not. But yeah, Costa Ricans are pretty happy. They want to they're talkative. They wanna enjoy with the tourists. They wanna help the tourists. So that's very important for us. So yeah, that's people, and when we see all the surveys of satisfaction of the tourists and stuff, they always say that they really enjoyed hanging around with the ticos, that we call ourselves ticos. Then this is another reason that you'd say, yeah, Costa Rica is amazing because of adventure, and this is something that makes us extremely popular also. So we have all sorts. As I told you, you could do anything that doesn't have snow in Costa Rica. So you could do whitewater rafting, windsurfing, scuba diving, surfing, tubing, bird watching, whale watching, and all sorts of activities. Something very interesting of Costa Rica is that we're a destination where you could have a different intensity of activities. So if you're on a multi generation family vacation, for example, you could go to the rafting with all the hyper people and really active people, and have a world class level 5 rafting, or you could do tubing, which is way slower, and you could go with your grandma if you want. So we have that flexibility, and the same with zip lining and all sorts of activities. We have basically all the levels for it. Same with surfing, kayaking, you name it. So, and we also have amazing dives like the Isla del Coco, which you need to be an advanced diver, or you could do something easier like Isla del Caño maybe, or Las Catalinas in Guanacaste or so on. So yeah, we have a great variety. Also, due to all the microclimates and the difference that we have on geography, makes us have this flexibility. Our country is around the size of Switzerland, for you to have an idea. And we have a Pacific Ocean, a Caribbean Sea, and we have a great variety of things to do within the destination. Okay, Costa Rica, you've all also could have heard that we've got this Nobel Prize laureate, and that we're pretty peaceful. We don't have an army since 1949. Actually, that's a typo. It's 1948. Sorry. And for us, there's a lot of people that haven't seen a soldier, right? So if you go to Costa Rica, if you are Costa Rican and you travel and you see a soldier, you're like, what's wrong with that guy? Why does he have a gun? We just don't get it, right? That's something that for us it's like an impact, and Costa Ricans are pretty peaceful in that manner. Also, we have Mr. Oscar Arias Sanchez. He received the Nobel Peace Laureate in 1987 for his work within the Central American region to promote peace when all the region was in wars. And we were in the middle of the region without an army, but everything went well. Our current president is Mr. Luis Guillermo Solís Rivera. And also something that is very interesting, because all the money that was destined for the army, and they used it for education, so that's why our education is free and mandatory. and our literacy rates and all the educational indexes went up, which is very good for us. And also they placed some money in healthcare that was also good for all our other indexes. This is a very important topic that I want to talk about, that is that we're a year-round destination. So when I travel and I have an interview or I speak to an audience like you, everyone asks, when is the best time to go to Costa Rica, right? And I always reply, what do you want to do? Because it depends, it has a lot of factors that vary this answer, right? So yeah, as I told you, we have a lot of microclimates. Also, our temperature is extremely stable. I don't know right now when you're cold, what's the temperature where you put your thermostat, more or less 20 something degrees? Throw me a number, I don't know. 22, 23, okay. That could be our average temperature in San Jose, could be 24, 25. So it's a very comfortable temperature to be in. We don't need sweaters or nor shorts. We're just comfortable, and that's something that it's very important. And that's year-round. Our temperature could vary around 2 degrees maybe within when we're like we don't have winter, but when we're like on winter or summer. So it's always the same. Also, if you want to jump into the water is also, it has an amazing temperature the whole year, which is something that we really, really enjoy. The difference in climate and explaining climate in Costa Rica is quite tricky, because the difference is that we may have more rain or less rain, but that varies depending on where you are, right? So if you're on the Caribbean coast and you have rainy season on the Caribbean, you have dry season on the Pacific, and vice versa. So that's why I told you could have only sun and very intensive sun if you move around the country the whole year, right? So and also rainy season that we call rainy season, which for people in London or other destinations could be like, oh no, I'm getting away from the rainy season, right? But a rainy season the temperature is the same, and we just have some rain, regular showers, tropical showers in the afternoon, and it's like if you set up an alarm clock at 2 p.m., it starts raining like for an hour or two, and then it stops, and that's our rainy season. It's not as bad also. So you could, climate-wise, you could enjoy the destination the whole year. Additionally, we have several natural happenings that they're seasonal, and you need to go there if you want to see it. For example, if you want to see the whales when they arrive to Costa Rica, that you need to be there in September, for example. September is like the peak month. But they start like from maybe July until October, more or less. So that's like the whale season. Then we also have turtle season, which is basically the whole year, because it depends on the species. But for example, if you want to see a leatherback turtle, the best month is November. So we have all sorts of natural happenings that we can't change because it's nature, but they're set for a certain period of time of the year. Also, we have migratory birds. Since we're in the central of the Americas, we have migratory birds from the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, and the same thing happens in Costa Rica with the whales. So actually, we have this place in the Pacific where you could see, scientists have documented that you have southern hemisphere whales and northern hemisphere whales meet. So that's pretty cool also, and that's something that we're very blessed for nature. These are the 7 reasons. I actually have way more reasons, but just wanted to remind you that Costa Rica is a experience of a lifetime. So you could live sustainability in Costa Rica. It's not just saying, yeah, we're green and we have a recycle bin and smile and take a selfie. You could actually live sustainability in Costa Rica. Again, I invite you to go to ITV and during the weekend and speak to the Costa Ricans and understand better what sustainability. You could live that in firsthand. Also, ecologists. I don't know how many of you have been in ecologists, but they're very popular in Costa Rica, and we were pioneer of them. So you could be basically in the middle of the rainforest in this amazing ecology, eating great food and having an amazing time. You could taste our foods. We have the sodas that are like these informal restaurants, and we have a lot of amazing plates from having fresh fish to a casado, which is a traditional dish, empanadas. We have all sorts of food that also varies a lot. If you could describe Costa Rica, you could say that it's diverse in every aspect. Since also food changes from place to place. If you go to the Caribbean, for example, you could experience red snapper, a lot of lobster, rice and beans, which is a traditional Caribbean dish, patacones, which is plantain deep fried, that it's amazing. Um, and you have that gastronomic experience. If you go to the Central Valley, it's a complete different story. If you go to the Guanacaste area, it varies also. So we have this diversity in the gastronomy that it's amazing, but we name sodas all over the country. So you go to a soda and you could have different kind of soda food, but it's gonna be a soda. Um, Also, all the volunteering and the amount of NGOs that we have in Costa Rica is pretty amazing. So, for example, part of your tour could be go and plant a tree in the intertidal zone in the coastline. Because in Costa Rica, by law, we have we can't build anything from the intertidal zone and 5 meters towards 50 meters towards land. So there's certain NGOs that are planting trees in that area. So you could go and do one of those tours. You have planting trees tours basically in all the country, and that's something that is very very interesting. And also you could offset your trip as I already told you. Also, we have NGOs that work with local schools. You could learn Spanish. We have all sorts of different tours and different experiences. I know that right now tourism is very important to have a unique experience, something quite different, and Costa Rica is full of that. So that's something that it's quite important. Here I have some pictures of the casado that I was telling you about. It's quite light. It's a lot of food, but it's amazing. Here you have these are picadillos. If you see the ones on the right, picadillo is delicious, and you could do picadillo of a lot of things. You could have picadillo at arracache, potato picadillo. You have all sorts of mixes, and basically it's something that you chop into pieces, and it tastes pretty well. And when you use the tortilla that you have there, and you put the picadillo, it becomes a gallo. You could have a gallo of basically anything. So you just use your tortilla and you're gonna have a gallo picadillo, gallo carne, gallo frijoles. So it's quite nice. There you have the gallo. Ah, no, this is the tamal. Sorry, this is a seasonal food. This is something that we do for Christmas, and everyone in Costa Rica or the families gather. We're very family-oriented society. Families gather, they do their tamales, and then they share that with other families or friends and families. So you do your tamales, it's a nice activity, and then you give your tamales to your friends or everyone, and it's a very nice tradition that we have. This is basically what I have for today. If you have any questions, please let us know. Let me know, and I'm here to help. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Castro, for this so interesting, colorful presentation. We all, I believe, hope that we will have chance soon to visit Costa Rica. So, please, yes, I'm coming for a question here.
Hello, I'm Nadia. I'm from Kenya. I wanted to ask about your visa visa requirements for people who don't have an EU or American passport. Is it very hard to get visa to Costa Rica?
Actually, we have someone from the embassy that can help you
Okay.
better with that.
Okay.
But a quick hint is that before you pass the microphone, is that we accept like everyone that has like an American visa could enter to the country, which is it's easier, right?
I do have American visa, so I can
Yeah,
to Costa
but
Rica?
Europeans
Yeah,
don't.
yeah. I don't
Yeah,
need.
yeah. If you're German, yeah, Marcelo tal vez sí.
The first problem that we have is that we don't have embassies in Africa, but you can go to any embassy of Costa Rica. And basically, the rule I don't have the because every country has different rules. So, but basically, like Alejandro says, if you have American visa for 6 months, or European visa, or Canadian, Japan, you can enter. And if you have residency in Germany, it's not a problem. You don't need consular visa. So if you are, the problem is if someone is where are you from? If someone is from in Kenya and wants to go to Costa Rica, that's probably the problem if they don't have visa for the United States. But if you're here and you have American visa, you can come by our office and we give you information.
So I have to get okay, I don't have an American visa, but I have a
But you have residency in Germany,
Oh.
so it's okay.
okay.
Yeah, flight away then.
Alejandro, thank you for your sunny presentation. It seems like we all were now in Costa Rica and received this sun. So I have two questions. First, I had a neighbor from Costa Rica, and he told me that in your country there are a lot of snakes, that it's very dangerous even for dogs just to walk around. That's why I want to ask if it's true or not.
He doesn't like snakes, right?
And the second question, what are you doing to attract international investments for maybe real estate, or you are interested in this or not? How you're doing with this? Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Regarding snakes, we're a nature destination. It's not that we have like snakes in the city and they're gonna bite you and you need to run. That's not the case. We do have snakes, and we have a lot of species of snakes, but they live in their natural habitat, most of them. And we have snakes that are not poisonous, and other snakes that are. You need to be when you do a nature tour. It's always we always recommend to go with a tour guide. It's not like if you're gonna go to a national park in Africa, you won't go alone. It's just like I want to see the lion, and right. It's something that you should do with a guide. That it's quite important. And yeah, snakes. It's something that we have, but as any nature tour, you need to be careful and respect the environment that you're entering. And if you're in a guided tour, it's way better. And yeah.
Actually, in the consulate, we received the most funny questions about these kind of things, like just to name a few, like what kind of clothes you have to wear for the wild animals, or what kind of antidotes you have for poison biting. Actually, I never known anyone, I don't know if that have been bitten from a snake, or I never seen a snake only in the zoo. So they are in the jungle, and it's not like you're like Indiana Jones movie or something like that. This is all I want to say, because it's common that people call the consulate and ask about this, but it's not like this. It's very limited to the
and snakes are
they keep the distance from us.
they're afraid of humans. Some of them sleep during the day when you're doing a tour. They camouflage pretty well. So actually, I love nature, and I've hiked a lot within my country, and I've seen maybe 5 snakes in my life, or in a natural, and I do hike a lot, and it's quite difficult to see them. So actually, it's good if you go with a guide and tells you where they are. For you to see it, because if not, you're gonna miss it. And they know what species they are, how to manage. If you go with a good tour guide, they even know how to grab the snakes and stuff, which I don't recommend if you don't know. But if you're trained for that and you know what species, it's quite nice to have that experience also. Yeah, but in the cities, it's quite difficult. Yeah.
Here we have one more question.
Oh, and
Hi, I'm Fulvia. Yeah,
yeah, and the second question was regarding the Yeah, regarding investments, yeah, we do have actually you could also help them more because we have another office that promotes foreign investment in Costa Rica. We don't manage that; we only manage tourism, but we're always open to that. Costa Rica is a pretty open country, and we have a lot of investments from international companies, and that's something that it's always well received. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Fulvia. I just would like to know if is it easy to move in Costa Rica?
Is it easy to move from one
Move,
place to the
yes,
other?
like forever. No, not move in.
To live.
To live
Ah.
there. Like get a residence.
Yeah, that's also a whole process that you need to go. I think you're gonna have a lot of visits after this presentation. Yeah, you could also go to our office at the consulate, and they could give you all the information regarding that. And also we have I know a lot of people that go, and actually Germans that go for to do an internship or something like that. Actually from ITB last year or 2 years, yeah, I come here yearly, but last year like 3 or 4 students approached me to see if they could go and do an internship to Costa Rica. So that's something that happens, and we're pretty open, as I told you.
Like Alejandro says, we are very open for business and also for people and tourists. But in immigration laws, we are a little bit strict. So you have to have a reason to move to Costa Rica, like a business reason, investment reason, a work. If you have a work offer, it's easy. Or if you marry a Costa Rican. but only if you want to go to Costa Rica like that is not possible. If you have a relative, if you marry a Costa Rican, that's not a joke. It's true. Or if you have family, yes, but or job offer or investment is quite easy, or not quite easy, but we are open for it.
You need
And
to do the
can
process.
it. But it's not like other countries that you can just go and try to get residency. You have to have a proper reason. So I give you.
You have some hints and.
One more time, dear Mr. Alejandro Castro, I would like to thank you very much for your wonderful presentation this evening, which was really a great conclusion of the first day of Berlin Economic Forum. And please join me in a very big round of applause for Mr. Alejandro Castro.
Thanks. Thank you.